Hi YouTube, Gaming Guy here. And it's been a while, but I'm back. And we have been steadily on that climb. And how am I doing it? And how can you get better at Hearthstone? That's why you're here, right? So in the past 30 days, I have a net gain of 2.0 wins. So I have improved by 2.0 from what I was. I'm approaching a 6.0 average, which is great because I didn't start out that way. I had to do a lot of learning and reflective analysis to get there. So, how can you get better at the game? That's why you're here. I think there's three things you can do. One, play. Two, watch people that play. Three, reflect on your plays. And I think the things that the big one that people miss is number three. So, if you are watching somebody on Twitch and you're playing, and that helped you improve, and you've plateaued, this video is for you. That's who I made this for. And thank you for watching, by the way. So the first thing that I do is I pull up VODs of other good players, and then I pause while they're doing the draft, and I go pick by pick to see what I would pick in the situation. And I have an example pulled up here for you. So what would you pick in this situation? You have the deck list here on your right in a smaller version, and the data is from an app called Firestone, which is a game. It's a draft statistical. You see the stats on the bottom, and you see the deck analysis of it on the top. The link for that will be in the description. So pause the video now and make your pick. Okay, now that you're back, let's see my analysis and see how it differed from yours.
We already have two of those. Umbrella card repeat for the Ellies that we played, but I can't, God, really count out. One, two, two. That's not, and they're all more than four, so it's direct X.
Okay, so this situation, just to further explain what I was thinking, is we have three good cards, and any one of those three cards could have been the pick based on what I'd already drafted. Like you just see, like the data here clearly shows it's Hex. Hex is the best overall card, but if I already drafted a Hex and I didn't have early game plays, or I needed Cycle and I had a lot of Elementals, any one of those three cards, if it answers a specific need, is the pick. This situation is clearly Hex. We don't really have the Cycle, but we don't have Elementals to guarantee that Cycle. That's what I was talking about. And we already have two Arcane Wrens. So you don't want to have like a bunch of one specific card. You want to have different cards in general to help you out, to have different answers. If that card's like one of the best cards in the meta, then yeah, sometimes people will draft like 3 or 4 of it. But other than that, yeah, like 2 is typically enough. That's kind of why standard caps it at 2. So sometimes it's like you can get away with it, but that's a very specific niche. In general, you should if you should try to draft different answers is what I'm getting at. So this also shows you like a good, if you're brand new to the game, like hey, you don't know anything about these cards, you don't know how it works, this one's green, it has the best stats, just pick that. And if you do that, it'll draft a decent deck for you, and then you'll get your learning process started. But as you get better and you improve, there's many times where I don't take correctly, I believe, do not take the suggested data cards, because whatever other people pick for their deck from the stronger card is better for that specific deck, and maybe it's not better for my deck, like what I just showed. Okay, and the other thing you can do is download Firestone, and it's linked to hsreplay.net, and it'll show you your gameplays. So I'm going to show that now. So this is Firestone, the app that I link in the description again. And I have the $4.99 a month Patreon version, and it comes with a lot of extra useful things, like not only the stats, the in-game tracker. It links automatically to Hearthstone replay, and that draft that you saw ended up going 9-3 yesterday. I regularly average and go and have 12s. It's like that's a normal thing for me. We had a string of bad runs before that. but you just got to take the variance. So all you have to do here is you go to the replays, you go to arenas, and then you click on watch. And then you just hit watch again, and then off we go. Hello? Okay. Now I'm just going to get to a complicated board state quickly. You can hit the play button and it'll naturally go through. So this one kind of looks like a nice endgame turn, and if you hit play, the cards that are played will show will go at a nice clip, and you can see. But the main reason I bring this up is there a situation where you feel like you were really close, but you just got clocked on the rope, and then you didn't come up with the best play, and then maybe you barely lost that game? You could identify maybe a better play that would have maintained that little bit of edge that you needed to win that game. Or is there like a play where you like played into a secret and you completely threw the game, and you want to see how you could have played around it and just envision how the game would have gone differently or could have gone differently to turn a loss into a win? That's the main point, to identify misplays or correct lines and board textures quickly so you can make the correct plays that leads to wins rather than losses. Because there's some games, like this game for example, he top decked his Khadgar, I didn't get my shutter block, I didn't have the answers, and he just had high roll shutter blocks that shut down. He had a counter spell that shut down my turn 7, which was this guy with the fireball. I mean, so okay, so if this is a good example, actually, I remember now. So this play, I actually could have done something better. It's game losing if this is counterspell, but it's a 50-50 that it's counterspell or ice barrier. If I cast the fireball that I set up the previous turn into one of these 6/4s and get a free 5 cost spell, maybe I can clear the board and maintain a presence and not just die. So I probably had to take that risk. If it's counterspell, I just instantly concede, but I'm probably further enough behind here, I should have done it. I don't do it because I was hoping I could get my stall enough to get my combos and get like 3 8/8 rushes and still come back and after this weapon's over, but that didn't end up happening. So that's just a specific example right there. The other thing, the last thing you can do that relates with this app is if there's 3 or 4 draft picks you're not sure on, you can write them down, and it's usually between 2 cards. You can write the other card, and you can go back to HS Replay, and let's say I took the fireball instead of a Wave of Nostalgia, for example, in this draft. Would a Wave of Nostalgia be game winning here? It could be, and maybe like I could have continued, but there was 4 or 5 other runs just to get to the 9-win mark where I needed the fireball as over-the-top damage that closed out the game. That where Wave would have been worse. So just those examples, and then that helps you see, okay, this was the correct pick, and then you have the confirmation of your analyses to improve being correct. So hopefully all that makes sense, and that's just the quick down and dirty version of how you can do something a little bit extra if you want to iron out wins and not have to pay $2 for an arena run, because who wants to do that? I've literally never done that. So yeah, I hope I can get you to that infinite player average. If you let me know down below in the comments if you have different ways that you've improved in your Hearthstone gameplay and tips that you have for me or for others in the community. Yeah, please share. And consider subscribing if you really enjoyed the video. And I stream on both YouTube and Twitch, so you can drop a subscribe and you'll get notified when I go live. So again, thanks for watching. Have a good rest of your day.